Here we are with another Shadow of the Wyrm speedrun. This time we'll be going for the Godslayer ending, which is this game's ultra ending, you could say. Race class combination, it's a bit of a catch to that. We're not picking a race. You'll notice it just says Adventurer. We pressed the Windows key on the race selection. That gave us the glitched race, which you're not supposed to have, obviously. For this, it's desirable because we get water breathing right off the bat. So you'll notice the run started off the same way as the stealth run, except we didn't have to get a boat because we already have flight and water breathing, so we can cross mountains, cross water, no problem. We are picking up Goblin Crusher. Again, it's going to be useful to have that item to get me through the early game. Even more so in this case because we're not going to be invisible. It's another downside, well, a downside to the glitched race is that I don't get any skill increases per level. So it's all down to passive training. Found some slight upgrades to my hat, I think, in the shop there. And anyway, still going to this guy, getting Buckler, Wand of Digging, and, well, I got the cap, but I don't need it. Buckler, Wand of Digging. We'll need the Wand of Digging later. Again, we gain some levels here. This time it is actually important to get the Sun Gem. So it's going to be difficult to get strong enough to deal with the end game areas. So one of the ways you can deal with that problem is to get a couple of Scrolls of Enchantment from an early quest reward here. So this is sort of a dual purpose trip here. So one, we've got get a unique kill. We're going to need 3 of those for something later on. And 2, we get the Sun Gem, which we can turn in for 4 Scrolls of Identify and 2 Scrolls of Enchantment. Here we're going to backstab this poor old adventurer guy. That's another unique kill. We are looking for 3. There we go, get the scroll rewards. And here our third unique kill is going to be this Weaver, but she's going to alert other NPCs that are nearby when I attack her. And I still need the quest giver that gave me the scrolls for some other rewards. So sort of swapping her around here so I can kill her out of sight. And there's 3 uniques down. Gonna head back to the capital. And now the reason we want to kill 3 uniques is there's a quest giver in the capital who will give us access to the Imperial Armory if we kill 3 unique monsters, which now we have: Garros, the Barrow Robber, the Adventurer guy, and the Weaver. There we go, just talk to him, get that key, and head up here to this nice room with a lot of treasure. It is random what you get here, so, but generally very good stuff. So Leather Helm, +7/+5. Nice Dragon Shield, +10/+10. Chimera Hide Armor, very lucky there. It's 35/4. Generally, high EV is what we're looking for. As it just protects against everything, whereas PV only protects against stuff that cares about your armor. Or your soak, whatever. Anyway, drop the other stuff so we're not burdened. Don't really, we'll get enough money later on then it won't matter. And exiting this side, as eventually we're going to return here for an NPC that's on this screen. So we may as well leave through the right exit to the city. Alright, next up we're going to be getting a nice amulet. It's just lying on the ground of this ogre island. They're throwing trees at me. Very rude. But there you go, you can see it on the ground there. Picked it up. Amulet of the Two Moons. Some further DV, or whatever, evade and soak. And now we're going up to this Goblin Island. There's a quest giver that's going to reward us with a lot of piety for clearing out the goblins here. We go in at night because there are some ranged monsters, and there's a lot of lag when monsters use ranged attacks. So they're not going to be able to target me from as far away this way. So not going to have to wait through as many animations. And also, it's a bit safer because I don't really have any ranged attacks to retaliate with. But anyway, with the amount of high quality gear we've got now, this is pretty easy. Don't have to play carefully, really. And then the quest reward for this is, as I think I already mentioned, enough piety to get crowned. Now, normally when you get crowned, you get a class-based artifact. Well, I think class and god have a role in it. Possibly also race. Well, it must have a role because glitchling, the glitched race, does not get an artifact crowning. They instead get a whole bunch of gold pieces. I'm doing a double check here because I have to kill every single goblin. If I miss any, then I don't get the reward, and I'd have to go back and lose a bunch of time. So better to be sure you've taken out all the goblins. Okay, we're leaving now. Alright, and then walking back to the NPC is going to give me crowning piety. And as it happens, we have a good use for the money, or at least some of the money. You get 10,000 gold, which is a bit much. I'm going to take 2,500, and going to buy some materials for making wands with that. First off, we got piety, enough piety with the neutral gods, so we're going to drop on the neutral altar here. That's guaranteed to bless my identify and enchantment scrolls. I have 2 enchantment from the quest giver in the starting town, 1 from my starting gear as adventurer. So down here, I'm going to buy, I believe, 4 Magisi shards from that guy, which are for wand making. I'm going to buy a bunch more silverweed from this guy. 10 should cover me for the rest of the game. And now we leave Carcassia, I believe, for the final time. And yeah, so we need at least 1 Magisi shard for one of the quests from the lady that gave us the Scrolls of Enchantment. But we're also going to want a few more for some very powerful wands we can make in the end game area. So anyway, this is related to the quest line of the lady who gave the Scrolls of Enchantment, Sinwise. We're getting a nice cloak out of this. And then here we get a guaranteed wand of teleportation on the ground there. And there's yet another quest item that you need to retrieve for Sinwise here, the silver branch over in the corner here. There we go. Going to use Wand of Digging. So there's some dungeon over here. It's got some more items that are useful. Well, mainly just 1 item that's useful. The Fencer's Ring. Killing Ukir, he's not much of a challenge at this point. And I'm going to Grave Rob. Most of the time you're not going to get anything, but it doesn't cost much time. And you can get extremely high quality items if you get lucky. So for these 5 sarcophagi that are fairly convenient to open, I'll go for it. In this case, we just disturbed some crones, which thankfully are not too bad to deal with at this point. If they can hit you, they are going to do really bad things to you, like inflict every single status on you, including petrification. Alright, so we're going to talk to her a few times. We're going to learn Wandcraft, so we can make use of those Magisi shards, and then we're going to also learn Herbalism, which doesn't matter for this run, and we're going to pick up that nice cloak. An okay amount of evasion and also some physical damage resistances. There I ate the Unique's corpse from the where I got the Fencer's Ring for a few resistances. And here we're going after a rogue elf mage. One of the riskier parts of the run. You see these capital blue L's are lichlings. Got a spell that doesn't care about your soak, so it does a lot of damage. I don't have much cold resistance. Thankfully, I do have a lot of evasion, so they're not hitting me that much. And yeah, proceed until we find good old Lalo here. Out there he is, the magenta E. So he's important for a nice shield we get as a quest reward for killing him. I went over there to check an item, but it wasn't any good. Okay, and out. Go ahead and turn in that quest. We're going to pick up some branches. These are the other component we need for Wandcraft. Get the fairy shield there. Plus 20. Oh, I have some difficulty equipping it, apparently. Plus 20 plus 5 instead of plus 10 plus 10. And as I mentioned before, evasion is really the stat we want to pump up. Alright, so here we've got some more important gear. Mainly, there's a nice ring with a lot of evasion on it, and this is what we're going to use our Scrolls of Enchantment on, at least our current Scrolls of Enchantment, is when we get into the final area, we get a random artifact armor. So it's not safe to enchant either my hat or my body armor, because I might just get an artifact in that slot that's better. So that's why I enchant the ring. Anyway, we're going through these shrines. This time we're actually not just going for crazy XP. Also, the artifacts here are going to let the blacksmith in the starting area craft a very nice sword. Goblin Crusher is a good weapon, but it's not quite endgame worthy. So we're going to need a bit of an upgrade before we tackle the late game areas. Well, these are late game areas, but the late game areas, the ultra ending areas. Alright, so some Spectral Emperors, pretty scary. They punch through armor, pretty strong. Thankfully, we have a lot of evasion, and they're going to be useful for getting a bit more experience. Alright, there we go. Took some hits, so we're going out to the wilderness to recover. Waiting in place outside of the wilderness is one of the main ways you lose time, actually, because it's quite slow. So we've collected all of the artifacts from the shrines, heading back to the starting village to talk to the blacksmith. There he is. Now we have Heart's Fury. You can see, well, maybe for a second, it's got more damage than Goblin Crusher, and it also has a bit more relevant slaying power. There aren't any goblins in the final area. Alright, so for this guy, he will only send you to this area if you have water breathing, because this floor is underwater. Swapped a little better amulet. So that's the upside to Glitchling, or another upside. We do not have to search for a particular unique, who's the only other way you can get water breathing. So, Spellbook of Inferno, a very, very powerful spell. This is what we're going to use Wandcraft on. So it's very powerful, but it's also very expensive. So although making wands out of it does consume a lot of the knowledge, does mean I can use a lot more of them at once without having to wait for power points to regen. There are various high-quality consumables scattered across this level. So we're going in picking those up. This is the armor. In this case, we got the body armor. A little bit unfortunate. I think I prefer the artifact hat, because then you can use your scrolls of enchanting that you sometimes find here on your body armor, which with whatever, Chimera Hide or Abyssal Hide tends to have great stats. In this case, we're going to enchant the Thieves' Boots instead. Plus 19, plus 1 base, although I didn't get much out of that scroll. Was only uncursed, since I don't have any way of blessing stuff here. And a couple of gain attributes potions. You'll notice we also picked up a couple of speed potions, which basically double your speed. Alright, so some fun stuff here. Hell Beasts, which I just teleported away, are super dangerous. Other monsters here on this level are okay. Well, relatively okay. You see I just took a bunch of damage. Teleport here is neat because the majority of this... Whoa, God, I took that much damage. The majority of this level is actually open air because we're climbing a tower. So teleport on stuff that can't fly has a better than even chance of just killing it. So that's one way we're going to deal with problem monsters as we're ascending. Obviously, you would rather... perhaps spend a bit more time building up your character before getting to the final, most difficult area in the game. Anyway, there are 4 tower levels with various themes that we're going to have to ascend through before we can reach the gods. And as you can see, resting when you take a bunch of damage from these guys, not very fun, but what can you do? Another group here, Hellbeast. Again, teleport that away, because I've found they do way too much damage too frequently. So other monsters, I don't know, there's that much remarkable here. They do a lot of damage if they hit, but they don't hit very often. And we are going to gain some more levels here. The final maybe 9 levels are going to be gained at the absolute last minute. Okay, teleporting away some more Hell Beasts. Alright, and I left to rest again. So the layouts of the tower levels are always pretty similar. I don't know if there's any randomization there, but the positioning of the stairs is completely random. So they could be like within line of sight, or I could have to explore the entire level. I think I don't get so lucky with this first level. I have to kill a lot of stuff. Probably should have backed up to the choke point for these guys. First fight one at a time. But I think I get away with it here. Well, sorta. I got punched pretty hard for my hubris. And here we are. More waiting. I think I have a few healing potions from the base of the tower. Here I'm trying to go to the side on the theory that having less stuff in line of sight will make resting a bit faster. There is weather here, which affects line of sight. We're going to regen a little bit faster in the night because we have less line of sight, so there's a bit less lag. Alright, come on, stairs. On stairs. Okay, there we go. We got out of the first level. Second level, I don't know that there's really anything I want to teleport away. In this case I did, just because I didn't want to be next to Ghost Ray. Ghost Ray is probably the monster I'm most scared about, that little R, because it has an armor punching attack. The other stuff doesn't seem to hurt me all that often. Well, as I say that, I get punched for 80 damage or something. But I find Ghost Ray with the armor-piercing shock damage is the most problematic monster here. Sea worms and whatever huge dinosaur, swimming dinosaur monster is not so much. Interestingly, this isn't underwater, despite it having sea worms. Only the first level, before you enter the tower, is underwater. All right, so we're on to the third level. We've got a Moloch here, like Adam, hard-hitting and tough, so we're going to teleport away. Titanic Slime splits a bunch and also does a lot of damage, so we're going to teleport those away along with the Molochs. The rest of the monsters on this level are pretty okay. So I'm not going to bother burning resources on them. One thing you want to keep in mind when you're ascending, I guess, is how you're going to use your Wand of Inferno or Inferno castings. Right now I can't cast it. One more level, it should be possible. But they can save your life against bad spawns in these levels. Accidentally tried to use a zero charge. Want to teleport? Okay, second. They can save your life against bad spawns, but you really, really want them for the final fight. So far I've done a good job of conserving them. This is the final level of the tower. Problem monsters here are this noxious cloud, which has a poisonous melee. I think it also ignores armor. But what's more pertinent, perhaps, is if it ever manages to deal damage to me. Read scroll of mapping, don't find the stairs. If it ever manages to deal damage to me, it may inflict the poison status. Lucky with the stair layout there, which is strong enough without antidote that's just going to kill me. Here's a bit of a funny part. We just got the God Blade, which is a really powerful sword. And then I took off my shield and re-equipped my old sword. Now, the plus side to this, I didn't notice until the end, is that I have 100% holy resistance, because the Heart's Fury has 50% holy resist, and the Tellarian armor also has 50% holy resist. Alright, so I should explain the capital X's here are the really, really dangerous monsters. They armor punch, they crit for something like 400 damage, so instantly killing me, and they crit very often. So that's why I used Inferno just on one monster there. Of course it was from knowledge, so we're not really didn't lose too many resources. Gonna rest up to get all of my Arcana points back so I can cast that again from memory. So anyway, anything else to say about Heart's Fury? Well, yeah, so it means I take very little damage. I really ought to have my shield on because it's a one-handed weapon. But I thought I was using the God Blade and was really surprised by how little damage the gods were doing, because most of the gods deal divine damage. Okay, again, there's one of those big danger capital X monsters. They have all sorts of crazy names. Thunderbird, whose wings encircle the world. mountain of living rock or whatever, primordial ooze, etc. All of them terrible. I did take a bit of damage there from something, and again, we're waiting for our Arcana points to get back up to 100 so we can cast Inferno from memory. I think so far we haven't had to use a wand, so we've got 9 charges, which is quite lucky. Often you only have enough knowledge to craft 1 wand, but in this case we have 3 wands, which is much better. And it's especially handy in this run because I don't have a weapon that does as much damage as I should right now. So Inferno is going to do a good job of clearing out the spawns that come with the 9 gods we have to slay here now. And yes, just enjoy this lovely rest time loss. This is one of the laggier levels, unfortunately. And we don't have particularly fast Arcana regeneration as Glitchling and as Adventurer. Okay, we got 100. You can move on. Maybe we'll make it to the gods. Okay, that capital P there, Paragon of 20 Virtues, the first of the god spawns. And there we go. I'm going to drink a speed potion here. So I've doubled the speed. Should make things a bit easier. Inferno on Aurelion. Okay, and as you can see, I'm shrugging off his damage. I'm not sure if that's strike damage or holy damage that he's doing, but in any case, he's not doing any damage, thanks to my excellent defenses. The lady now. Oh, there. Smite is definitely holy damage, and she just can't do anything to me because I am immune to holy damage due to my mistake with inventory. All right, there goes the lady. That's 2 down. What's the next god? I can't see, and they're shooting range attacks at me, so I'm going to use an Inferno to clear out the spawns. Come on, where's the 3rd god? All right, who is it? Celeste, the final good god, I believe. And again, I think, well, she's smiting and striking, and it's not doing anything. Not doing much of anything. And it should be a lot faster. Well, okay. Well, Inferno will do the trick. With the Godblade, I would be fighting her, or I would be killing her in melee a lot faster. Although she might be killing me in melee a lot faster as well. I drank another haste potion, my last one. What is that? Like 4 gods down? Alright, Shiver here, one of the evil gods. I guess doing shadow damage, but I think the Talari armor also has quite good shadow resistance. So probably not in too much danger from her, even though she's not dealing holy damage. Alright, Trickster seems to be doing holy damage, smites. So not going to have much luck there. I lost count of the gods again. There's Urgoth, one of the evil gods. This goes 2 Infernos on him. Vidaire. I don't remember what alignment he is. Again, he's doing holy damage most of the time. Smites. So not much luck against me. Okay, there we go. I lost my haste. I'm going to have to do the rest without haste. And here's the final god. I can't pronounce his name. The last evil god. Reposition a bit for a better Inferno here. And get pretty much all of his spawns. So it's just 1-on-1. Again, he's using shadow damage. But, wow. That was fast. I guess we did hit him with 1 Inferno. And that's a wrap. Once we kill him, we've completed the Godslayer ending. You can see there. Place 8, some less successful attempts above us on the high score list.